Hello! Welcome to another episode of JWA Fixes. I'm not sure when this is coming out, but whatever. Let's begin right away. Since I've covered these in the past, let's just jump right into it. I'm not sure if anyone remembers what I did to the Stygimolochs and the Okay, so basically I covered the Pachycephalosaurus, the Stygimoloch, and the Stegosaurus, all in the same video. I did not cover the dracorexes because those guys I'm not touching those. They have their places in the meta. So anything to do with the Dracos is not involved in this video. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry. Anyway, here's basically my basic build. I think these are the exact same stats they always had, and the exact same abilities. All I did was add in a swap preventation immunity and a swap in charge. I should probably add a bleed immunity to these guys, following my logic that because these guys have really low health, there's really no point in them being... Like, maybe, that's another thing I could probably do. But I think, no. I think I'm okay with this. I'm gonna leave them the way they are. Just to have, to show that these, they need to, just a simple change. Just a simple little change is enough to make them better. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, Luia keeps making all these OP abilities, right? So there's really no reason, there's really no reason for me to keep this as swap in charge. As just a 1.5. One moment, please. Here we go, the new and improved Stygimoloch Gen 2 with the new and improved swap in charge. Now it deals regular damage. And that'll just, I'm pretty sure that change alone would be enough to make Stygimoloch Gen 2 a really good creature. I've made it a little too OP. I've made it immune to swap, bleed, and vulnerable. May have to rework that in future, but I'm gonna keep it the way it is. One thing I wish is that they would allow us, because they would just allow us to keep a setting the way it is, because it's kind of annoying to reset all of the filters when I leave the page and then come back to it, and I have to redo everything myself. Where is it? Swap in charge. There you are. Okay, where is the Stygimoloch? Ah, yes, here we go. Oh, okay, so right off the bat, it just looks about the same. These are the exact same stats and abilities, except precise impact and run. I changed that a bit. I'm a tad biased to my boy, the Stygimoloch, because I love the Stygimoloch, honestly. Swap in charge, now it can deal about as much damage as the Woolly Rhino, except it does not pierce armor, and it is, that's a bit. And, oh, it's a 100% chance to stun as well. I also gave it stunning obstruction since the last time you saw it, because I just felt like, well, I want to make Stygimoloch really good. I want a reason to actually use my Stygimoloch in battle. It has a stun resistance, a swap preventation resistance. I'm not going to give it any other resistances other than those two, because I feel like that just makes sense to me. Because it already has all of these other special abilities, I don't see the reason in giving it any more abilities than, resistances than those two. I could make it immune to bleed and vulnerable, but I feel like I gave its smaller cousin the immune to vulnerable. Why does that keep disappearing? Because, it's sort of a weaker creature. It has weak health. So it makes sense that, you don't need to increase damage towards it, because this thing can usually die in one hit to a T-Rex or something. So there's no reason in, making it suffer even more by making it vulnerable or something. Here is... Do I hear the phone ringing? No, that's fine. Here's Pachycephalosaurus, the more tankier, but, oh, wow, your damage is not that great. You're slower as well. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Oh, hold on. I need to rework you to be better. Okay, so I gave it a huge boost in damage just because I wanted to. I feel like a skull that thick. Even Goji Center agrees that this thick skull can, kill a man. So, it has to deal a lot of damage, I'm thinking. And I also gave it a slight vulnerable resistance compared to its, all its other resistances. And that's basically my Pachycephalosaurus. Now we gotta see Stegosaurus. I type in Steg, and I see so many different Stegs, but this is the Stego I want. There he is. Oh, okay. So obviously right off the bat, I boosted your stats because you were pathetic. You are absolutely pathetic stats. You only exist to make Glyptosaurus, which I also had to rework because that guy's also pathetic. Daring Strike because you are fierce cunning, so it just makes sense to give you that kind of ability. I also reworked cunning a little bit, so it actually reduces... Does it reduce... Wait, what did I do to change it? Increase damage. Reduce damage by... Remove damage increase. I made it so it removes damage increase now. I also reworked Determined Strike in case you didn't, if I didn't mention that before. Everything else is the same. I gave you Swap in Prowl so that you will have a 100% crit chance when you come in. Although I guess that's kind of irrelevant, considering you already have critical impact right off the bat. So that's not too helpful, I suppose. But it does give you that dodge chance, I guess. It's eh. And then, of course, you're immune to the regular stuff, and I gave you a deceleration resistance, because you're smaller than the Pachy, so you should at least have some form of defense, right? Well, I mean, like, some way of, like, having some sort of, like, special, like, you're cunning fierce. You're not a resilient at all, while the other guys are. These guys have always been confusing to me in their classing. It never made sense to me. I'm searching? Apparently I didn't do Glyptoceras. I could have sworn I did. Huh. Oh well. So two little bonus things. This doesn't really have anything to do with the actual Stygimolochs, but I actually made Pachyceratops from Jurassic World the game. Gave it a few unique abilities or something, and then I also made Pachycephalosaurus. I gave it the Tapijara thing because it just felt like it's the only one that fits, really. It sort of looked like what the toy looked like, sort of. Just from the chaos effect. And that's just a little bonus thing. Now, excuse me while I while I remake Glyptoceras. Kevin's been on my back for a while, and all of a sudden, he started aggressively bobbing. I think he sees his reflection from my open laptop, so I'm just gonna close my laptop before he breaks something. It's weird. Like, he was just fine. Like, 30 minutes he's been sitting on my back, and he had no problem. And all of a sudden he sees reflection, boom, he's mad. Kevin, calm yourself, buddy. Calm yourself. So much of this is just being done on the fly, you guys. Here's my new Glyptoceras. I gave it a few just like daring. First of all, daring. Let me use my pen here. Daring Strike, and then I gave it minimal critical counter. Replaced it with Stunning Alert because it was the same thing as the other ability. I don't know why they made the same ability twice. And I boosted its resistance, its distraction resistance by a bit. Boosted its health, boosted its armor. Now it's a better creature to have. Ah, that's right. I covered this guy. This guy has gone through a huge rework since the last time you saw it. Ceratocephalosaurus. Unfortunately, the drawing for it, again, I have the drawing for it. My drawing looks terrible, but then I have another, like someone else's drawing. It just looks so good. So I've mentioned this person before. There's his version of it. It just looks amazing. Decelerate. In fact, Instant Intimidation. It has gone through a bit of a rework, as I mentioned. It now uses Intimidation as like which I got from Potato Man, as its main ability. I've also reworked it so the cooldowns are better. It doesn't take as long to use. Maybe I can replace that with Critical Rampage and Ruin, but I think it's fine the way it is. What are your crit chance? Your stats are okay. And then you have Exposing Counter, Swap in Charge, which has like been buffed to be better. On Escape Shattering Strike, which again goes with Intimidation. And then a really boring description. And of course, we have its hybrid, which unfortunately did not get the same treatment of a redraw. So we get this terrible drawing. I'm so sorry. I'm just gonna skip over it. Apparently it used to be Nodosaurus, but somewhere along the line, I guess I changed it to Permasaurus to make a purely fierce unique. Interesting. Definite Strike, Ferocious Shattering Impact, even though I use a Rampage ability. I'm sorry, I do not have a buff impact. Instant Intimidation again, Lethal Rampage and Run. So this dude is basically meant to be your average, slow-moving, heavy-hitting, fierce creature. Except, I guess it's pretty similar to Albertus. Oh, no, it has armor, so that saves it. But it has a very weak crit chance, so that's pretty sad. Exposing Counter, I guess that also makes it a little better. Swap in Charge, On Escape Shattering Strike. Okay, yeah, this thing's okay. I can see why its stats are like that now. Because its abilities are really strong. And then it has a really boring description, unfortunately. I did not give it anything better. Now there's two more things to look at. Let's go. Stygirosaura, which is, I swear, back when my old channel was a thing, this was way before Fororex. I did not predict Fororex. Actually, it's pretty different because this is a cunning resilient, but then of course, Ludia decided to make their own with Dracorex instead of Phorosaura, so this thing will never become reality, unfortunately. Shielding Strike, Instant Rampage, Instant Charge, Instant Rampage, and Run, Nullifying Counter, Swap in Charge, and no other ability. That's just Swap Preventation. This is basically... Now, I even had to change the description. The less popular cousin of Phororex, these larger birds often lead flocks of Phororex to lands with more prey and resources. So I decided to make it like... I decided to roll with it and just make it an alpha Phororex. Anyway, there's my artwork. I'm just going to skip my artwork and just skip to, like, the good artwork made by the same artist. Love this. It just looks so good. And I also realized that this does not even cover the... Actually, neither does Ceratocephalosaurus. Huh. I kind of wish there were more dinosaurs that used the Stygimoloch animation, because I love the Stygimoloch animation. Utahronyx is one of them. And I did not cover Utahronyx in this video, because, again, that is a Dracorex, and I'm not covering those, because they're really good already. Here's the last one, Pachytor, my Apex Pachy, which I somehow turned into a Stygimoloch. Whoopsie doodle. This was always one of my favorite designs. It's basically, I just basically made like a bull hybrid or something. A bull plus Pachycephalosaurus. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe if they ever add... no, I think I'll leave it as a raid. I've been meaning to like go back and like look at all my Apexes and turn them into raid bosses. Someone on the Discord server recently did that. Or not so recently, now that it's been a week and this video's out now. Okay, so basically... Main thing, Stubborn Revenge. Probably my most creative way of using a revenge ability. First of all, on a regular, delay 1, cooldown 2, deal a rampage, impose vulnerable for 2 turns, and 75% chance to stun. But then on revenge, no delay, a cooldown of only 1, it targets all opponents, and then it imposes vulnerable for 2 attacks 1 turn, and it has a less of a chance to stun that one opponent. Maybe I could make it so the vulnerability affects everyone, but I think I like it the way it is, where it damages everyone. I love that. Instant Charge, group decelerating shields, it's exactly what it sounds like. Priority move, shield by 50%, and then reduce speed of the opponents. Swap in Charge, which has been buffed to deal even more damage. This thing could honestly contend with Sarah Magnus if I wanted to, because it could be a swap in or a revenge. I think I prefer the revenge though. And then of course, my favorite backstory I've given a creature. Bull DNA was fused with a Pachycephalosaurus to create a Minotaur-like creature. At a young age, this one-of-a-kind dinosaur was kidnapped and forced to fight in underground arenas. After many years, it escaped, killing all who did it wrong. It now roams the wilderness and will not hesitate to kill any humans that cross its path. Yes, I really love what I did with the Pachytor. And I think I would, if I'm going to make a boss out of all my Apexes, the first one I'll do is either Pachytor, Stego Reaper, or Valkyrie Dawn, because I think those are just some of my favorite ones. I recently went back and buffed Valkyrie Dawn, Fafnir, and Sprigonopteryx, because I recently looked up their Beyblade abilities and gave them special abilities based on those. Maybe I'll do a video showcasing those eventually. But for now, that's all the time I have for today, folks. It is 6:20. I am starving, and Kevin is just licking my ear. So thanks for watching. See you in the next one. I'll let you decide what you want to see next, because if I'm correct, if I look at like, okay, let's look at rares, and then just like, hang on, rework proposal. Let me just look. What do I have any? Oh, yeah, amphibians. Amphibians I haven't covered yet. Like, I have been as a creature that I did in the past, but then have to redo again. Because what's left? Okay, let me just draw here. If I can just draw, okay. Did I do the Spinus? I did the woohoo, check. I did, okay, that's the same thing. I did raptors. I did all 3 pterosaurs. I did Spinosaurus. I did crocodiles. What else did I do? Oh no, I clicked the wrong button. Okay, I've done the Nodos, and honestly, that's the last ones so basically, I'm gonna do amphibians next, but then I'll let you decide. Do you want me to do big old sauropods? Let me draw. Big old sauropods, Or do you want me to do counterattack theropods? Maybe the Dillo and Company? Or, I keep clicking the wrong button. Maybe you want me to do the Eagles. Like, I really want to do these guys. I'm probably going to pick them next. Or maybe you want me to do the bigger sauropods. Not the same video as these guys. It's different. So, guys, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time when I do Amphibians.